should we be shaming people who don't get vaccinated? Some really don't like it. Here, hold. Here's Howard Kurtz.
I knew from the moment that CNN's Don Lemon denounced unvaccinated Americans for their idiotic behavior that we were headed into a surge of anger against those who haven't gotten the shots. That's why I played it last Sunday. Then the New York Times did a major piece on rising resentment among the vaccinated, but I say that's driven by the pundits.
If you're unvaccinated and you're going around without being tested, you are an arrogant, selfish SOB.
With COVID cases surging, I'm worried, I'm frustrated, I'm all for persuading and cajoling more of the 90 million unprotected Americans to get the vaccine. Their reluctance isn't just about politics, and the CDC's incredibly muddled messaging on masks is making things worse. But I'll tell you this about the unvaccinated. Ripping them and ridiculing them, slamming and shaming them isn't gonna work. It just ticks them off. And these piling on pundits ought to know better.
The teleprompter just kills me. But anyway, so Anna, I think I know what you think about that, but you tell me.
I think that, did we not just go through several years of literal adults moping around about participant trophies and how we need to baby children and we need to ensure that these kids, they get a little bit of that rough life, so they're not too soft by the time they're adults. These same people are like, don't shame me. Don't shame me for doing something incredibly irresponsible for myself and also the community around me. Don't shame me. Grow up. Grow up. Grow up. You can't handle it. You've made a decision. I don't care about your feelings. No one should care about their feelings, period. You don't want to get the vaccine? Fine. There are certain parts of society that you can't participate in because you've decided to be a child. But I'm not having a conversation about these people and their hurt feelings because they feel judged over doing something insanely irresponsible, something that harms themselves, harms the community around them. And let me also just address Howard Kurtz and his whining about the CDC's muddled message on masks. This is a worldwide pandemic, a global pandemic that is ever changing. We're talking about a virus that continues to mutate. And so the situation is fluid. And that means that the decisions the CDC makes, the actions we have to take are also fluid. If your brain is too slow to understand that it is a changing situation, an evolving, devolving situation, then you probably shouldn't be in the news. You probably shouldn't be in the news. There was a period of time where it seemed as though vaccinated people didn't need to wear masks indoors. Then we received more information indicating that vaccinated people, while it's very unlikely are gonna be hospitalized or die from the virus, are still likely to spread the virus. In fact, there was a recent report indicating that even vaccinated people have high levels of the virus in their nose and their throats, meaning that it's very easy for them to spread it to unvaccinated people and vaccinated people, right? So the point here is people who are vaccinated are resentful because we could have been at a point where no one needs to wear masks, where most people are vaccinated, we're at herd immunity, and we're all good. If you're vaccinated, you're very unlikely to get hospitalized or die. The reason why you have to wear a mask indoors now is to prevent unvaccinated people from getting incredibly sick and dying. That's why people are incredibly frustrated with this situation, because no one wants to wear masks. Let's keep it real. No one likes wearing masks. But we have to do it to protect our fellow Americans. And unfortunately, those are the fellow Americans who are whining and crying and bitching about the fact that they feel judged because they're doing something irresponsible. Guess what? Sure. Yes, you're being judged. Get over it. Be an adult.
See, Anna, you were talking about not caring about their feelings. You know what doesn't care about their feelings? Facts. That's what I was told by conservatives.
I heard about that.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. Like your point about the participation trophy. Like, look, whether it's we can debate what's most persuasive, but the argument they're making now is 100% not compatible with how they've always acted about everything. So you're 100% right there. Also on the ever-changing advice from the CDC. Well, first of all, I'm sure it's being influenced by the fact that they know that right-wingers will freak out about anything they say. So that's an externality being put onto the CDC, but also It's not just the advice that's changing, you dunces. The Delta variant is really bad and it did not exist or wasn't common a year and a half ago. Like the situation is changing. If the situation changes and the advice doesn't change to protect people's feelings, that seems weird. But really fast, so I think it's only natural when you're seeing these stories of people like, asking to be vaccinated at the last minute to be really mad about that. And the fact that it's affecting so many people and want to shame them. I will do, so you do that. I'm gonna do this one other thing, which is that I know that when people have been conned, when they've been brought into a cult, when they follow a grifter, it is very difficult to get out of that because of the fear of the social stigma, the shame, having to admit that you've been duped. People don't like that. That's why cons work for as long as they do. And so like if you are watching this somehow and you're in that, you might think, well, I don't want to admit that I was wrong. Like, it would be so embarrassing. But no, I understand why you'd feel that way. But that's not how you should think about it. You should think about it this way. You have been the target of a monumental amount of propaganda from millionaires and billionaires trying to convince you of insane things. If you can get out of that, that is amazing. That you as an individual could overcome this like sustained year and a half long propaganda campaign to make you potentially get sick and die. It is an amazing thing if you can get out of that. And if you're surrounded by people that don't agree with you, even more amazing. That's not a reason to feel shame, to feel embarrassed. That is the best thing you can do at this point. And I will gladly welcome you. Doesn't matter if you just decided, as I'm saying this right now, that you should take it seriously. You're one of us, okay? That's probably not gonna work either, but hopefully. So if you know someone who's not vaccinated, maybe share it with them.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.